Does the Bible foretell the future? Does the Bible actually predict the future, or are we simply reading meaning into ancient words after the fact? That question has occupied scholars for centuries, and the debate remains far from settled. On one side, you have biblical liberalists who see prophecy fulfilled in real historical events. On the other, secular historians and critics argue that these predictions were written after the events, shaped to fit rather than to foretell. Most of us don't have time for academic debates. What we want is something simpler, a claim that can actually test. So, here's the question I set out to answer. Is there anything in the Bible written thousands of years ago that we can still observe today? Not something vague, not something symbolic, something specific enough to examine. That search led me to a brief, often overlooked passage in Genesis, one that describes a future people, their character, their struggle, and their relationship with the rest of the world. When you compare it with what's unfolding on the world stage right now, the details are hard to ignore. Let's look at the evidence together. I ask AI, how widely debated is the idea that the Bible predicts the future? The idea that the Bible predicts the future is very debated, divided sharply between literal beliefs in prophecy and critical academic skepticism. Key viewpoints include biblical literalism, theological interpretation, and secular historical criticism. As you can see, it is a highly debated topic among scholars. But what about you, the individual who works every day and doesn't have time to debate this issue? How can we find the answer to this question that has baffled scholars for centuries? You want what they can't or don't want to find: hard proof. I must admit that finding hard proof in the Bible about anything is rare, but it is there. Most people think the events foretold in the Bible were written after the fact, including Adam eating the fruit, Noah and the flood, and the nation of Israel being enslaved for 400 years as foretold to Abraham in Genesis 13:15, among many other prophecies. We need something foretold more than 4,000 years ago that can be proven today. Something that doesn't look back but is evident now. That proof is found in Genesis 16:7 through 12. The angel of the Lord found Hagar. She was by a spring of water in the desert. The spring was near the road of Shur. The angel said, Sarah's servant Hagar, where have you come from, and where are you going? Hagar replied, I am running away from Sarah. I am her servant. The angel of the Lord told Hagar, Go back to Sarah. You are her servant, and you must obey her. The angel also said, I will make the number of your descendants become many. They will become too many for people to count. The angel of the Lord said to Hagar, Now you are pregnant, and you will give birth to a son. When you cried in pain, the Lord heard you, so you must give your son the name Ishmael. Like a wild donkey, nobody will be able to rule him. He will fight against everyone, and everyone will fight against him. He will think that everyone is his enemy. He will keep away from his brothers. You may be wondering how that scripture proves that the Bible can foretell future events. We need to know who can trace their ancestry back to Ishmael. I ask AI this question: which religion considers itself to be descendants of Abraham through Ishmael? Islam is the major world religion that traces its ancestral and physical lineage to Abraham through his firstborn son, Ishmael. What is true today that has always been true of Islamic faith? I ask AI, was there friction between Isaac and Ishmael's descendants? Yes, religious texts and traditions describe significant friction between the descendants of Isaac and Ishmael. Muhammad, a descendant of Ishmael, was the founder of the modern-day Islamic religion. Here's the problem with all man-made religions. Every major religion has significant splits, denominations, or branches today. These divisions often formed due to historical disagreements over leadership, law, or theological interpretation. Every major religion has extremists within its groups. Extremist individuals or fringe groups exist within every major religion in the world. While the scale, visibility, and violent impact of these extremist groups vary greatly by era, region, and specific faith, human susceptibility to fanaticism remains universal across belief systems. Let's review Genesis 6:12 again. Like a wild donkey, nobody will be able to rule him. He will fight against everyone, and everyone will fight against him. He will think that everyone is his enemy. He will keep away from his brothers. What did Muhammad teach about the religion he founded, particularly regarding its role on the world stage? The Prophet Muhammad believed and taught that the message of Islam was universal and would eventually spread across the entire globe. Islamic scriptures and traditions record that he viewed his mission as intended for all humanity rather than a single tribe or nation. I ask AI how many countries practice Islam. Islam is practiced in virtually every nation worldwide, with 50 to 53 countries having Muslim majority population. Additionally, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation has 57 member states, representing nations where Islam is either the majority religion or a significant minority with official representation. Now, I'm not saying that Islam doesn't have a right to believe whatever it wants. All I'm doing is showing how one scripture in the Bible foretold the attitude that the descendants of Ishmael would have, especially among extremists of this religion. Here's what AI said when I asked this question: do extreme Islamists think their religion should be the only one? Yes, extreme Islamics believe that Islam is the only true religion and that strict Islamic law should replace all other legal and political systems. They seek to remove non-Islamic influences and make society conform entirely to their rigid view of their faith. One may think the above information applies only to countries where Islam is practiced, but is that true? Yes, Prophet Muhammad taught that Islam would eventually spread across the entire earth and gain universal reach. Islamic traditions record him stating that God showed him the eastern and western parts of the earth, and that the dominion of his community would eventually stretch over all of it. Do you think this belief will sit well with people in other countries who do not practice Islam? There is one group, the Muslim Brotherhood, that is on a mission to implement Sharia law right now around the world. The Muslim Brotherhood believes that Islam is a complete system for both public and private life. Founded in Egypt in 1928, the group aims to guide society back to core Islamic rules and eventually build states ruled by religious law. Let's read Genesis 16:12 one more time. Like a wild donkey, nobody will be able to rule him. He will fight against everyone, and everyone will fight against him. He will think that everyone is his enemy. He will keep away from his brothers. Many nations throughout history have tried to conquer Muslim nations, but they are like a wild donkey. Nobody can rule him. In recent history, Afghanistan has been invaded by three major countries, beginning in 1839 with the United Kingdom. The Soviet Union invaded in 1979 until it was defeated in 1989. The United States coalition fought them for 20 years and was defeated there. That's only one Muslim nation. The United States and other nations have also had conflicts with Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Yemen, Syria, Pakistan, and Sudan. The United States and Israel are now at war with Iran. Even Iran can't seem to get along with its Muslim brothers. The prophecy given to Hagar by the angel of God was proven true from the day it was spoken to the present. For me, this scripture in Genesis 16:7 through 12, written more than 4,000 years ago, remains true today as it was then, and serves as proof that the Bible can and has foretold the future. But like most scriptures in the Bible, this scripture also has a symbolic meaning, which I'll explore in my next episode.